Okay, good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to another section on public service knowledge law. I'm your regular host, Jamiu Onosanya. Good evening, sir, Mr. Orojimi, sir. You can unmute yourself to say hi to the participants, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
All right. Good evening, sir. Yeah, good evening, everyone, once again. I welcome you all again to this call. As we all know, we are all preparing towards our oral interview, and the objective of public service knowledge hub is to make sure everybody get to the next level. So shall it be in the mighty name of Jesus. So before we start the class, I don't know if I'm trying to see if Babalogun is here to just give us some backup. Okay, Balogun Union is not here. Okay, before we start today's call, I will invite Mr. Balogun, the Chairman, Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, as we normally do. As we all know, this program contained only 300 participants before, but since we started this program towards the promotion evaluation exercise, so the union came to our aid and said, okay, they want the welfareism of all public servants is their goal. So they try to pay for expansion on this call so that all public servants can participate in this exercise. And ever since then till now, we have been benefiting the 1,000 capacity on this call. So on this note, I will call on him to give us some welcome notes, welcome address. So Mr. Balogun, are you here, sir? Mr. Balogun.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Ahead.
Good afternoon.
Yes, go ahead. You have the floor. Go ahead.
Hello. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to use this opportunity to thank and appreciate our facilitator for taking time out to come and do this for us. We want to appreciate you, the union, on behalf of the leadership of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria Lagos State Branch. We want to appreciate you so much. And at the same time, I also want to appreciate the coordinator of Knowledge Hub for providing this platform. Because if we have to do a physical class, I know how difficult that is going to be. And we want to thank you for taking that time to do all of this. And to the entire participant, I also want to appreciate every one of you. And I want to pray that Almighty God will give you retentive memory that they are going to ask you. God will give you that retentive memory for you to be able to answer whatever that is going to be asked of you. And at the same time, I want you to also be confident in whatever they are sure that nobody is going to intimidate anybody. It is for us to, appear and comport yourself. At the end of the day, you're going to get the best of that. We'll see you at the
Okay, Mr. Balogun, I think the network from your side is not friendly. So thank you so much for that wonderful statement to back to support our participants. So on this note, today's call we don't have that much time because we are having like 4 classes today. So without wasting much of our time, we still have another class till 8 o'clock. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome once again to the Public Service Knowledge Hub Y2026 Promotion Tutorial Series, ORA. Today's session focuses on a topic that is central to every officer's understanding of governance and service delivery in Lagos State. That is, understanding the Lagos State year 2026 budget structure, priorities, and implications for public servants. So this topic is timely, relevant, and extremely important for anyone preparing for the oral promotion interview because the budget is the backbone of government policy direction. As public servants, understanding how the budget is structured, how priorities are set, and how allocation affect MDAs is essentially for policy implementation, informed decision-making, and professional competence at all levels. Ladies and gentlemen, to help us unpack this strategy topic, we are privileged to have with us an exceptional resource person and a distinguished professional in public financial management. Our advisor this afternoon is Mr. Olufemi Orojimi, FCIPM, MCISON, the Director Budget, Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, MEPP, Lagos State. Mr. Orojimi is a seasoned financial management expert with extensive experience in budget formulation, resource allocation, fiscal planning, and public sector financial governance. His work continues to shape the Lagos State budgeting landscape, and his insights are highly sought after across the service. He brings with him decades of practical experience at the center of the state budget development process, making him the most competent hand to guide us in understanding year 2026 budget outlook and what it means for all public servants. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with your emojis flying up, let me see your emojis flying up. Please join me in warmly welcome our facilitator today, Mr. Olufemi Orojimi. Sir, it is our honor to have you with us, sir. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Good
afternoon, sir.
I would like to say good afternoon once again to everyone here on this call. I believe my colleagues has already taken you on the definition of budget and other budget process. I'll be brief on this because somebody is writing on the presentation. Kindly look for the person and portion the person. He's trying to write something there. So on that, I will just go brief on this particular topic. When you say understanding the Lagos State year 2026 budget structure, 2026 budget is already appropriation bill. That is, the governor has already presented it to the House of Assembly, and we need to look at the structure, the priorities of government, and the implication for public servants. Wow. So on that note, this is just a brief definition of budget, the cycle. The cycle means budget starts from the fiscal framework, which is strategic planning. Then it moves on to budget preparation and approval. Then we move on to execution of budgets. Then we look at our reports, how feasible and accessible our documents are on the state website. Then we look at the oversight function, those who carry out oversight function after the audit from the Auditor General's office. So this is the fiscal journey so far. In 2022, we name our budget as Budget of Awakening. This budget lay foundation for a greater Lagos. While in 2021, the name of budget was Budget of Rekindled Hope. We stabilized the economic after the unprecedented disruption. In 2022, again, we name our budget as Budget of Consolidation, which reinforce systems and institutional reforms. Come 2023, Budget of Continuity, connecting first-term gains to our long-term. Come 2024, Budget of Renewal, which align the National Renew Hope agenda. Come 2025, which is this current year, we call it Budget of Sustainability, which safeguarding progress and strengthening resilience. Now come 2026, the budget is named as Budget of Shared Prosperity, which will be driven by this objective. The objectives are to enhance revenue generation and fiscal sustainability, to invest in climate resilience and environmental sustainability, to also promote economic diversification and support micro, small, and medium enterprise entrepreneurship. We also invest in human capital development, gender equality, and social inclusion. Then bridging the energy deficits, implement statewide price stabilization measure for essential goods. That is Lagos State under the Lagos State Market Development Board. We also promote sustainable economic growth, improve stakeholders' engagement, participation, and empowerment. Now, this is the strategic planning of our budget so far, which I believe my colleague has taken you through, but I need to touch it just for us to understand that our budget is structured in such a way that we need to continue to align with our development plan. We need to look at the performance so far, looking ahead at our development plan. Not only that, our focus, that is the team's agenda, we call it current government focus. Out of the development plan, there is a focus of government, which is called Teams Plus Agenda. It's already integrated in our development plan. Development plan is 30 years plan. And within that plan, there are what we call 4 pillars. We base our budget on all those 4 pillars, mapping it with Teams Plus Agenda, which is current focus of government, which we are using as a guide. Now, from there, we are going to, from the team's agenda, we are going to look at how the MDAs are going to drive the economic of Lagos State through the Teams Plus agenda. There are a lot of things we normally do. We look at the capital, the projects of all the MDAs that are put under the MTSS. We look at the fiscal plan. What are the fiscal plan? We call it MTEF. MTEF is another tool when it comes to budget. So the tools comprise of some components which MTSS happens to be part of it. The very first one is medium-term fiscal framework. Under that medium-term fiscal framework, we were able to project our revenue based on historical data, historical figure, and the performance of about 6 years budget. Now, when we project, we come up with revenue projections as well as expenditure, that is budget size projections. After that, the bulk figure will be disaggregated along the COFOG, because the COFOG is the reporting we normally use in line with international best practices. So that is the brief explanation on how we normally do our budget. And from there, by the time we disaggregate along the COFOG, which is going to be approved by Executive Council, which we call EXCO, that one will enable us to now share it among the functions. COFOG means classification of functions of government. Then we have about 9 functions in Lagos State. So by the time we now disaggregated the bulk figure we got from the MTFF, which is medium-term fiscal framework, disaggregating it is along the functions. That template we are using is called medium-term budget framework. You can see how the policy is working along with our budget, because our budget is multi-year planning. So there is need for us to ensure that the policy of government link the budget. So that is how we are able to come up with the so-called envelopes. Among the functions, function has a strategic way of distributing the envelope among the MDAs under each functions. So that's why we have COFOG champions. Now, after that, we now move to annual budget. Actually, I was supposed to have taken us through the MTFF, because at that point, we can't just come up with any figure. There are a lot of things that we normally look at, not only historical data. We look at the macroeconomic indices, which comprises of inflation, the prices of, the GDP, the oil prices, exchange rates, and among others. So we look at so many things. Then we look at other diagnostic tools we normally use in ensuring that we come up with a realistic projection. So after that, MDA will prepare their budget and they forward it for us to deliberate on. We are still coming back to that. Now, along the line, I mentioned something like Lagos State Development Plan. That is 30 years plan. Somebody will ask, what does that imply? At least in 30 years, we are looking at the Lagos that can compete with countries, developed countries. We are developing countries. We will compare ourselves with a country that is already developed. We cannot say we want to, Lagos want to compare with, itself with other states in the federation. No. So by the time we get to 2052, you will now see a better and a greater Lagos. That's where we are going. That's why this year's budget is premised on these 4 pillars, which are called, which is thriving economy. What do we mean by thriving economy? When we look at the thriving economy, this year budget, there is need for the state government to expand access to quality education. No. Thriving economy, to accelerate economic growth by strengthening the micro, small, and medium entrepreneurship, which is encouraging circular economic initiatives and others. Government also wants to support agribusiness, manufacturing, technology, etc. Those ones are under the thriving economy. And under the thriving economy, we have 162 initiatives. So we can see that about 400 plus initiatives are under our pillars. We also have human-centric. When we talk of human-centric, we talk of quality education, we talk of strengthening healthcare delivery. Government in year 2026 intends to widen social protection and also accelerate affordable housing. So we also want to improve urban renewal, waste management, and flood resilience. So those are the things we need to understand, that these 4 pillars come 2052, we are moving one step after the other. So modern infrastructure also is another pillar we need to look at. And this time around, government is trying to link many roads, rail lines, waterways, energy system, and digital network into one functional ecosystem. That is the plan, come 2026. I believe a modern Lagos is where people and business can move and thrive with ease. So we also have effective governance. In effective governance, good governance is a backbone of development, as we all know. Government wants to deepen fiscal reforms, expand e-governance, optimize automated revenue system, and enhance transparency across MDAs. So when we look at all these pillars, they are the one we really worked on to ensuring that it align our Teams Plus agenda fully aligned with. Now, we look at this is the structure. I've mentioned the structure. This is part of the structure. This is our planning stage, down to preparation of the budget. The plan is built on these 4 pillars, integrated by Teams Plus agenda. Now we look at our performance, because performance is very, very important. This is our 3rd quarter performance for the year. We have the cumulative. It shows that our budget performance is 81% as at September, which is the 3rd quarter. Our IGR is also 87%. So these are the structure we are talking about. Now, we look at, based on that, this is what I call MTFF the other time. That shows that we plan based on the previous performance, and we also planned ahead. You can see our plan was in 2026, and we will need to generate revenue of 3.5 trillion. Then our budget size to move from 3.3, which is the current year's budget, to 3.6. After the engagement of the MDAs and their principals, we were able to, this is the stage we are, budget preparation and approval. We have already moved ahead. The strategy, we issued the cost circular. I don't want to go to this because I believe my colleagues has already taken you through all these ones. So the stage, we are at number 4. The number 4 is the budget passed through the State Treasury Board. After the State Treasury Board consideration, the budget was moved to ESCO for their own consideration and approval. At that ESCO, it was approved and the budget size was moved to, moved or increased. You will see the size from the planning stage to another number. So these are bill. We call it bill because it is now presented to House of Assembly. So in 2026, our budget size is 4.2 trillion. The revenue is 3.9 trillion. The capital is 2.1. Then we have our personnel costs, which is 440 billion. The deficit of 243. Based on this, what are the priorities of government? This is how we now distributed our budget along the cohort function. So we have DPS to have 19%, public order to 3.5. Based on the priority of the governor, of the government, we were able to come up with this. And this is the comparison with our approved budget. Now, these are the notable projects government wants to work on: completion of legacy projects, Mercy Children's School, Okpebi Link, General Hospital, or George General Hospital. Then we also have strategic investment in the basic education, primary health, and so on and so forth. So these are the initiatives and the investment, especially in the capital projects. These are other few notable projects that are grouped into sectors. So we can see that in education, they are planning new ultra-modern classroom with sport facilities across the Ibile. Also completion of BOS library complex in Lasu, just like that. Then we also need to look at implication for public servants. If you look at the public service as a whole, what is our role? It shows that investment in key priorities, that is capital projects, we create job opportunities either directly within the projects or indirectly across the related sectors. What I mean by opportunities directly within the project is that if government invests more in capital expenditure and other programs, there will be room for employment for many people. And in terms of indirectly, people that are building roads, people that we create an enabling environment for, we'll be able to employ more and more people. So that is the implication for public servant. Infrastructure development and services rendered. Implication indicates that it will enhance service delivery. Citizens will be satisfied and they have access to essential resources. So if they have access to essential resources, it shows that people have already, they feel the impact that government is doing a lot of work. And the services rendered by public servants will also reflect in what they are doing. And I want us to understand that budget is not about number. We call it a bedrock. What is a bedrock? Budget 2026, we'll all look at it, is built on stability, growth, and sustainability. So seeing it as a bedrock, which is foundation built on all such things, all those things, we will realize that there is a proper plans that are put in place, which makes this budget to stand firm. And the limited resources are directed towards priorities instead of being wasted. And accountability and discipline, we make sure that actions align with goals. You know, we have goals. I mentioned it, all those pillars, 4 pillars in our development plans. All those things are goals. And accountability and discipline, we ensure that we align with all those goals. Resilience. Unexpected shocks can come on. We can experience unexpected shocks, that is emergencies and economic downturn. I believe with a realistic budget, all those things can be absorbed without collapse. On that note, I would like to say thank you for taking time to listen to the presentation. Any question, any opinion, any observation? Thank you.
All right. Let me see your emojis coming up for that beautiful presentation. Thank you very much, sir, for that clear, insightful, and highly enriched presentation. Very concise. We sincerely appreciate the depth of knowledge you have shared with us this afternoon, sir. At this point, we will be moving into question and answer segment where members can seek clarification or further guidance on any aspect of today's topic. Dear colleagues, please, if you have any question, kindly raise your hand.
Somebody is raising hand.
Okay.
Can that person ask the question or?
Yes, okay, I'm coming. I want to open the chat box because I locked the chat box before so that it will not distract us. Okay, so once again, if you are called to ask a question or ask for more clarification, please let's go straight to the point. Today, we don't have that time. Ekundayo, unmute yourself. Your name, your ministry.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ekundayo Adeola. I'm from Ministry of Information and Strategy.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, please. Thank you very much, sir. I just want that slide of the notable projects of Lagos State government. There was a slide that I couldn't capture.
Ask your question.
No, that's just the question. That's what I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Yes.
Noted.
No
after the Mr. Kundayo, if you are part of our
you need a slide now, or you want to ask questions based on what information on the slide?
No, just the slide. That's all.
Okay, noted.
Okay. The slide
Don't worry,
you
will get the presentation.
I can see the slide already.
Okay, no problem.
It went off again. There's no problem.
Nope. I'm taking you there.
All right. You don't need to stretch yourself, sir. They are all on our, we have a channel that we can send it to them so that they can check very well.
Are you talking of this?
I've mute him, sir.
Okay, no problem.
Raimat Busari.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you so much for this presentation. My question is, please, sir, can you explain what's the link between COFOG and the team's agenda?
All right, thank you.
COFOG and the team's agenda.
Plus agenda, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I will take you back to our slide. Now, looking at this team's agenda is just the focus of government. Is that understood? And focus of government are based on health, traffic, environment, education, and making Lagos 21st century, etc. And there are strategies they deploy to it. That is, there are some MDAs that are ensuring that all these things are put in place. Now, COFOG is just a tools, budget tools we use under the MTBF. MTBF is just the medium-term budget framework. At that level, we have already found out that this is where we are in terms of projects. When it comes to team's agenda, government has already done a lot of projects and every other thing, which they have the dashboard that are looking at where we are in terms of traffic management, where we have in terms of health. So based on that, by the time we are preparing the budget, we look at the policy, the focus of the government, and all those ones are what is going to cascade down to our MTSS. That is, there are some things we normally, the projects that are in MTSS that needs to be completed at that one point in time. So COFOG is under the tools. Is that understood? It's under the tools. We have to project. We may not have enough funds to ensure that the target of government will be met at that one point or the other. So team's agenda is a policy, is a form of focus of government. COFOG is the way whereby we need to drive and ensuring that that particular goal of government is achieved. Thank you.
Okay, so let me run through the chat box now.
The answer is even here. Strategies for it to be driven by team's agenda. That's all.
All right, sir. So Taiwo Peter said, thank you, sir. Please, sir, can you throw more light on the appropriate bill?
Appropriate. Like, throw more light as in, this is it. This is appropriation bill, not appropriate. Appropriation bill.
Yeah, yes, appropriation bill.
So this is it. At least the budget size, the proposed budget size is 4.23 trillion. Except if he wants the breakdown of everything, which by the time we start deep diving into that, we will not be able to finish everything today.
All right, sir. So
4.237 comprises of capital expenditure, comprises of recurrent. What are the components of recurrent? Recurrent is overhead and personnel cost. Under the recurrent, we also have recurrent debt charges or debt service, as well as recurrent non-debt service. The one that are classified under the non-debt is what? Is overhead and personnel costs. So the debt service and is just an independent on its own. So those are the things that make up the budget size. Then we also have the revenue. Revenue too has its own components. We have IGR, we have federal transfer. The reason why I didn't touch all those ones, I believe my colleagues has already taken you on budget cycle. I believe so, a budget process. So that's why I need to touch the area whereby I believe talks more on year 2026 budget. So that is the main reason why I just touched that. Thank you.
All right, sir. So nevertheless, sir, you can still help us like summary on that cycle, sir, so that
okay,
pressure
do
can
that.
come anywhere, sir.
No, there's
Yes,
no problem. This is it, but I will just add it by the time I send the presentation to you. It's just a slide.
Okay, sir.
It's just a slide that will just give you the breakdown of everything. Thank you.
Sir. All right.
Any other question?
Raji Bobola. Raji, unmute yourself. Raji, do you want to ask question? You raise your hand. Okay.
You can call other people now.
Yes. So, Olasumbo said, can you please ask the facilitator to go through the budget process again? He said it has to be sent to the Treasury before the state ESCO.
Which one is he talking about? I don't. Are you talking of this or which one?
Olasumbo, can you raise hand and be vocal on that so that maybe you can understand it better?
Budget will get to State Treasury Board before ESCO. So I believe that will be the answer.
Okay.
Or let me explain again, Abi.
All right, sir. Maybe you can quickly run through that, sir.
Okay. On budget cycle, this is just a cycle.
Raji Taiwo, please, you are writing on the screen. Raji Taiwo, I don't want to embarrass you by removing you. Please stop that, please. Raji Taiwo. Go ahead, sir. Sorry, sir.
So this is a cycle. On this cycle, we have strategic planning, which is called fiscal framework. That is where we start our budget. And looking at this budget, we look at the policies of government. The policies of government rest on the development plan, as well as focus of government, which is Teams Plus agenda. Then we now apply the budget tools, that is multi-year budget tools, which is called MTEF. So that is the link. The link indicates that our projections are based on historical figures as well as others. So we then move based on medium-term budget framework to budget preparation. On budget preparation, there are a lot of stakeholders meeting. We call it consultative forum, revenue, stakeholders, etc. By the time, because all those things need to go into our budget cost circular. Then here comes budget cost circular, which is released to enable the MDAs to know the policy, the current policy of government, the priorities of government, the macroeconomic indices that are used in the projections of envelopes sent to them. Those are the things that we go into the budget cost circular. It's just a instruction. It's just a guide. That is what I call cost circular, that will enable FDAs to prepare their budget based on all those information. Now, by the time we finish, we now engage, all the information we gather from stakeholders like revenue stakeholders, like consultative stakeholders meeting with citizens. Then we add everything to our cost circular. Here comes meeting with MDAs based on that, based on the figures given to them. By the time we engage the MDAs, we will now look at how well we can review their budget, either upward or downward, depending on their performance, depending on the envelope given to them. So those are the things. After that, after engaging, we call it bilateral meetings or bilateral engagement. We now collate the budget. We take the budget to State Treasury Board, which is shared by Mr. Governor. The outcome from that STB meeting is what we are now going to take to Executive Council. Any review or any other thing on that budget from STB will be done there. So at the end of that ESCO meeting, outcome of ESCO meeting is what Governor will now work on and send to the House of Assembly. That is all. Taking it to House of Assembly, the proposed or draft budget will now become appropriation bill, pending the outcome of the consideration and approval of the House of Assembly. By the time they agree, they send it back to Governor. Governor will now assent, that is, sign it into law. That is when the budget will now become law. That is all for the brief process of budget within the state. Thank you. Any other question?
All right, sir. Okay, Raji, unmute yourself now. You on now, Raji? Okay, Ogulano, Monday.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we
Hello?
can hear you now, Raji. Go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Please,
Good
my
evening.
question is, I'm not talking about the present on the topic, but I want to talk outside the topic. My question is on Erin Betty, because I had two questions in Erin Betty doing the objective, and it was so, I didn't read that. I want the facilitator to please, can you go through, is there anything like Erin Betty again? I know there is a program then that Erin Betty, are they still doing Erin Betty? Please, can you please enlighten us more about Erin Betty? Because some question came up on that Erin Betty, and I was unable to answer that question.
All right, thank you.
Okay, but it's just the economic summit. Is that understood? And it's being organized by the state government just to ensure that the Teams Plus agenda is well aligned with and to ensure the sustainable growth in the state. But it's still on. I want to be brief. You asked whether we are still doing it. Yes, it's still on.
All right, sir. Is there anything you want to throw more light on for us on that, Betty?
There is nothing, it's just the economic summit. When you say economic summit, it's just for us to co-opt the private to know where we are on our planning, on how to move forward. That's all.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
In the area of energy, in the area of infrastructure and others.
Okay, sir. And
where they can come to intervene, that is through the private participants, can they assist? How can they intervene? How government too can benefit from the private, how private too can benefit from government. That is the essence of Economic Summit. Thank you.
All right, sir. Ogunlana Monday, unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for allowing me to come in. I want a clarity on the budget size. You make mention of the 4.23 trillion, but in another platform that I got to see, I see this figure is 4.237. So I want to know which one is accurate. Is it 4.23 trillion or 4.237 trillion? That's my question,
In
sir.
other platform, you say you saw 4.2 what?
4.237 trillion.
In this platform, what are you
And
saying?
you make mention of you make mention of 4.23. So
This is it
I
now.
just want to
I'm showing you now. I mentioned 4.237.
Okay.
Mr. Monday, can you see the screen?
Mr. Monday. Yes,
Okay.
I'm seeing it now. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
don't worry, when we share the slide, you will see it clearly. Thanks so much
Somebody
for
is
that.
raising hand. Oloni Shaye.
Okay, sir.
All right. Oloni Shaye, you have the floor. Oloni Shaye. Unmute yourself. You have not unmute yourself. Oloni Shaye. Please unmute yourself. Click on the mic from your gadget. All right. Oloni Shaye, you have not unmute yourself. You have been muted.
Sorry, I've done that now.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I just want to appreciate
Your
our
name, your
able
ministry.
facilitator. My name is Oloni Shaye Said from the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget.
All right, sir.
I just want to appreciate the effort of Jami Onosonya and the Public Service Knowledge Hub, and also our facilitator for today, our able director of budget, and also the coordinator, appreciating you for your efforts so far. God will continue to strengthen you and give us more advanced knowledge on this work. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Just want to appreciate us, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you, Mr.
yes.
Oloni Shaye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Mr.
my DB. Well done, sir.
Okay. Shakiruddin. Unmute yourself, Shakiruddin. Logun. Shakiruddin.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name, your ministry.
My name is Logun Shakiruddin, Local Government Service Commission. My question is
Good afternoon,
my question
sir.
is 2 in 1, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My question is 2 in 1, sir. I want to ask, in case any question comes from the budget performance for the outgoing year, sir. Do we have the budget performance for the year, sir? Then, secondly, sir, isn't there a way the Ministry of budget can encourage local governments to come up with ideas relating to economic summit so that they can identify the potentials and other possibilities within their environment, sir? That would be my question, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. Stay behind.
Well said. I believe an economic summit is not meant for only states. It's meant for all the actors, which I believe local governments happens to be part of the invitees, the participants and those who will attend the summit. So that's number one. Number two, let me show you this. This is the performance we are talking about as a third quarter. That is January to September. So unless you want us to break it down, we have the breakdown, but this is just the presentation We call it PowerPoint presentation. So there is need for us to look at it from the angle of total revenue, receipt, etc. Then we look at how well we are performing in our revenue, as well as the budget itself, that is budget size itself. Then we look at our performance when it comes to recurrent expenditure, debt and non-debt. So that is one thing is there. I believe I will send the slide to the organizer, the coordinator, to enable him do the needful by sending it to most of you, or by sharing it with everyone on this call. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity.
Any other question?
Yes, I'm trying to run through the chat box before we call it a day, sir.
I'm not in any hurry. I'm
Okay,
here with
okay.
you. Yesterday I went out, but today I'm for you.
Okay, full ground. Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, Bankole Bamigbadebo said, good afternoon, sir. Please, can you give us all budget terms that and their meaning, that is like MTSS and etc.
Thank you. You see, it depends on the topic you gave me. There was a platform I facilitated, which is about budget cycle, budget process. I have everything, but I will send that presentation along with this to you.
Okay, sir.
I base my presentation on the topic given to me. So no need, I will send that other presentation to you. My colleagues has already presented budget process, which I believe she did a very good job on. So maybe you share that one with that particular person. I believe that one too is okay. MTSS is part of what is presented to everyone on that call that day. Thank you, sir. But just to be on safe side, I will send additional one or ask her to resend the presentation to you. I mean to the coordinator. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Rihanna, I think you are trying to simplify to something on the chat box. I couldn't see what you are raising that for. Or is it that you want to talk? So
please, you can
let us
stop the person, or you.
Okay, you want to talk? Okay, let me try. Can you raise your virtual hand, Rihanna? Okay, let me look for you, Rihanna.
No, just tell him to unmute herself. Tell her to unmute herself.
If I didn't, there is no way she can unmute herself.
Tell her to unmute.
No, I will need to send permission to her.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, unmute yourself now, Rihanna.
Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for the presentation, sir. Please,
Rihanna,
I have a
wait.
question.
Stop writing on the
Okay,
slide.
sir. Okay, I've done it.
Please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I want clarity on the linkage between MTBF, MTEF, and MTSS, sir. Is there any linkage between the three of them, sir?
They are the same.
What?
There is.
They are the
Let
same.
me explain.
Okay.
I've explained it today more than 2 times. I will explain it. Let me start from planning. Let me start from here for you. See, this is a budget cycle. Do you grasp it? This is a budget cycle for you. And budget cycle is about strategic planning from this fiscal framework. We call it budget cycle because it's a legal framework. Why is it a legal framework? Because it's binded by law. Which law are we talking about? We have Constitution, Nigerian Constitution. We have appropriation law. We have public financial law. So it is not what you can toy with. It is not what you can just play with. In Lagos, we also have Lagos State Finance Law. So when you talk of budget, it is a law itself. Once it is signed, it is a law. You can't just toy with it. It's a document with law. Now, fiscal framework. Fiscal framework, another name for fiscal framework is strategic planning. Strategic planning in the sense that one thing leads to another. Right from development plan to focus of government, the MTSS will rank the project based on availability of funds. Is that understood? That is, we can't put the project you have already projected to be done, to be executed by 2052. Is that understood? You can't just do it now. So we have MTSS. We want to just be picking the project in line with focus of government. That focus of government is just team's agenda, and that team's agenda will be driven by medium terms expenditure framework. That medium terms expenditure framework, you have to bring all the projects you want to work on within 3 years. You put them in a basket or in a place and say, okay, within 3 years, this is where I want Lagos State to be based on my priorities and focus. So from there, you can see that medium terms is playing a good role. Then here come projection. Team's agenda, you have already planned it. You have already worked all the projects that are going to ensure that those teams plus agenda will work. You pull everything in a basket called MTSS. That's why we call it medium terms sector strategy. Now, here come budget itself, based on GDP, based on macroeconomic indices and other macroeconomic diagnostics tools. We factor everything together. Here come the bulk figure. That bulk figure comes as a projection. Within that bulk figure, that MTSS that comprises of the project which has been ranked will now come into play, because by the time they give you envelope, each ministry has its own medium-term sector strategy. They have their MTSS document, which is signed by the accounting officers. So all those things work hand in hand. For 3 years, this is our plan. This is how we are going to rank our project. MTFF will bring the bulk figure to the table. You can see the policy. The policy has been addressed by MTSS. You can see the projection. The projection on where we are going in addition, in next 3 years, will be addressed by MTFF. You can see the other one, which is MTBF. The bulk figure will now say, yes, this is where we are based on the historical figure. Now, take the figure. The figure will now be distributed along the COFOG. Here come along the COFOG. You will now go back to MTSS and say, I rank about five projects that is going to drive maybe health sector based on Teams Plus agenda. But due to limited resources, you will re-rank and say, budget gave us 10 naira, but our projections, our plan on our MTSS is 100. Budget gave us 50. So that is how you can see the policy aligning with our tools called MTEF. We call it budget tools called MTEF. There is no way. Then here come annual budget. From 2025, we will now say, this is the position of MTBF. We now pick 2026 budget. This is the envelope given to you. From your MTSS document, you'll be able to now rank and take care of the projects and programs in that document. That is how they work. From there, you will now plan on how you are bringing your budget to Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget for defense. So that's how they work. Without applying medium-term expenditure framework to your budget, the policy of government will not align with it. Thank you. I'm trying to, I don't want to be fast. I want us to understand it so that you will grasp what I'm saying. Any other question?
Okay. Samsung.
Samsung.
No. It's the person is still using the gadget name. He said, kindly help. He said, kindly help, sir. The facilitator keep mentioning envelope. What type of envelope, please? It's not brown envelope.
Okay, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
When you say envelope, it's just comprised of figure, disaggregated figures. Is that understood? A disaggregated figure along that function group, and from within the function themselves, they need to disaggregate it further along the ministry, department, and agencies within each function. Another name for that function, because they say sector, economic sector, agricultural sector. So we have to be very careful. We can say sector at times. We can say but function has MDAs that drive that particular function group. Thank you. Envelope, another name for envelope when it comes to maybe federal budget is ceilings. This is your ceiling. This is the figures. Envelope means figures given to you to work, to work with when it comes to budgets. Is your budget figure in a simple term. Is your budget figure in a simple term. So don't call it, if you don't want to call it envelope, just say, where is my budget figure? But we need to understand everything. You can call it ceiling, you can call it envelopes, you can call it budget figures. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, still on the Shakiruddin Logun's question. He's still saying that what is the budget performance for the outgoing year, sir?
This is it now. I've shown him. I've shown him here. This is it. The budget performance is here. You can see total expenditure budget size. The January to September, that is third quarter, which can be viewed on our website, is 81%. Then the revenue between January and September, which is the third quarter of this year, is 87%. So this is it. Any other question?
Sir. No question for now, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please check through the chat box. Scroll up. To get these slides, please join our Telegram channel, WhatsApp channel, so that for more updates. Our program is not just for promotion exercise. Our program has been on the system since 2023. So we only carve in the promotion exercise when it's needed to do that. So join our channel for more updates for our Sunday knowledge sharing session. And also I've sent our YouTube channel. If you miss any topic on this session, go back to our YouTube channel and access it. I'll send it to the chat box. Scroll up if you mix it, and I'll send it again. Then check our Telegram channel also. So on this note, as we normally do here in our in our program, we call on one of the participants to do vote of thanks. So in this regard, I will call on what is his name? Oluwatosin Ijewemi Ojo. Sorry if I didn't pronounce your name very well. Just give us vote of thanks. You have the floor, Oluwatosin.
Can you hear me, sir?
Okay, you can close to your gadgets so that we can hear you clearly.
So yes, I'm Oluwatosin Ijewemi Ojo from
Right.
Education District 6. I'm a teacher from Mushin Zone. I want to say thank you to our facilitator. Really appreciate your effort, your input. We are so grateful. I also want to use this opportunity to celebrate Mr. Jamiu because this Zoom has been on for more than a month and we benefited a lot. It made our CBT very easy, as in seamless. It's not possible for you to get 100%, but what we got was good enough. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
All right. Thank you so much, Oluwatosin, for that. Once again, thank you, sir, Mr. Orojimi, sir. Abariyiba, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, distinguished everyone, please stay behind. We have another class by 5 o'clock. We have another class 6 o'clock, and we have another class 7 o'clock. Today is fully back to back. We have to get there. That next level is for every one of us. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye. Then see you next class. Thank you, sir.